If you are someone who finds it hard to express your emotions or take up space in everyday situations, this video is for you. In this video, I want to share some new perspectives on how we can actually use our negative emotions as a tool for success and connecting with others. Crazy concept, I know, right? But stick around and I'll go deeper into this. I grew up being quite guarded with my emotions. I believed that suppressing my emotions and letting them stockpile was the healthy thing to do. This mindset taught me not to be trusting of others and not to express emotions like fear, because I thought that showing weakness would make me a target. In conversations, I would just agree with people or not state my opinion out of fear of confrontation. I believed that my emotions were mine to deal with alone, and that the best way of dealing with them was just ignoring them. And I would have as many distractions as possible just so I was protected from all of the negative thoughts in my mind. Living in fear and constantly doing things to distract yourself from your emotions can also be associated with the survivalist mindset. With the survivalist mindset, the focus is to get from point A to B and just survive. You are not living in an abundant or an authentic way. You are simply just surviving. You are living out of fear and out of a lack mentality. You focus on all of the bad things that could happen in any given situations, and you focus on what you don't have instead of appreciating what is already there with you. But here is the problem. If we go about our days being non-reactive and ignoring our emotions, we will start forming these emotional backlogs in our mind. This leads people to destructive behaviors because having to deal with one or two emotions at a time is hard enough. But then imagine dealing with like 10 or 15. When you have all of these emotions to deal with, the only thing to do in that situation is to try to numb them out. But there is another way. What will change the way you see your emotions is when you start seeing them as energy. Feelings are how we interpret our emotions. Emotions come into our minds and are shaped by our gut instinct. Our emotions are the energies that we learned to survive and protect ourselves. For example, fear is actually a really important emotion because it will alert your mind if there is a dangerous situation in front of you. As humans, we needed fear to survive evolution. Cavemen and women needed a developed sense of fear in order to survive their harsh environment. However, in our modern age, we have not learned how to adapt this energy and use it for better things. Like I said, fear is a really powerful emotion, and when used correctly, it can actually really help you out. Now, what do I mean by when I say correctly? Essentially, with all of the emotions and energies that come into our minds, we have a choice. We can use them to either create or destroy. When you use your emotions to create, anger turns into art, sadness fuels your next piece of writing, and fear turns into you making a weekly plan so you can stay on track. When you use your emotions to destroy, anger turns into an angry text to your best friend, sadness turns into doom scrolling, and fear turns into procrastinating for hours. So something that you could do the next time these emotions come up is ask yourself, am I using this emotion to create or destroy? Understand that these energies or emotions that come into our bodies need to be expressed. When you use an emotion to create, you release it, you express that emotion. It doesn't linger on you, it has been expressed and used as fuel. When you use an emotion to destroy, it stays in your mind longer. Sometimes it feels like these emotions come into our minds with no control. We might not be able to control our emotional input, but we can become conscious of how we are using our emotions. So then, using this, how do we create systems in our lives that will allow us to create more and destroy less? When you first start becoming conscious of how you are using your emotions, it might be hard for you to think immediately of the thing that you should do instead of the bad thing that you're used to doing. What helped me was changing the way that I structure my days. And this concept will work for anyone, whether you're an artist, musician, freelancer, whatever, it will work for you. So here's the change that you can make. Start your day by creating. You often hear people say, let me sleep on this, or this problem will be clearer in the morning. And there is some truth to this. When we sleep, our mind processes all of the information that we consumed that day. So coming to a solution might be a lot easier when you wake up in the morning than it is in the evening time where our thoughts are wandering. I might also do a little video about sleep because I am really interested in that topic, so let me know if that's something that you'd like to hear. So what I do is I start my day by having a coffee and then writing for 20 to 30 minutes each day. That free time that in the past you used to scroll on your phone in the morning, you can now use to create something. Now, the something can be quite tricky, especially if you haven't figured out what your dream goal or purpose is. And for this, I would recommend my last video on how you can get closer to your purpose. So yeah, if you feel lost or if you feel like your life doesn't have purpose, that is a good video to check out if I do say so myself. So what is the benefit of creating as the first thing that you do every day? Having this practice in the morning will allow you to see that using your energy to create is the better thing to do. Because why do we find it so easy to destroy? Because we don't know how good creating and getting to release these emotions can feel. When you have this practice in the morning that shows your mind that actually using what you feel to create is the better thing to do, you will find it easier to do in your day-to-day life. You simply need to show yourself that this is the better way by putting it into action. Personally, I knew about this concept of create and destroy for a long time, but I didn't know what to do instead of giving into these negative emotions. And this is something that I'm still working on, and I want to say that these videos that I make are my perspectives and observations. And a lot of what I make is actually what I'm going through in this moment. I take whatever emotion or experience that I'm going through and I put it into my work. And I hope that this inspires you to do the same. I think this concept also extends to other parts of our lives. So let's go back to that survivalist mindset. You grow up thinking that all of your emotions and feelings are yours to deal with alone. But we already know that this is not the healthy way to deal with them. Letting our emotions stockpile and ignoring them leads us to destructive behaviors. Here is something that I had to realize. This old way of dealing with emotions was actually blocking me from making genuine connections in my life. From the outside, I seemed like someone who was strong and resilient, but on the inside, I had this huge emotional backlog that I would have to deal with. I wanted it to be easy for me to make new friends, but by not expressing my emotions, it would be hard for someone to know if they could confide in me or not. And that is a huge part of making friends and relationships. As humans, we have a natural need to be heard and understood. When you are able to listen to a person, connect with what they're feeling, and also express your own emotions, that's when you connect with someone. And learning to do this is hard, especially if you have these fixed beliefs about your emotions. Personally, I found it really easy to be there for others, but when something bad happened in my life, I would be scared to reach out for help. I thought that by reaching out, I would show them that I'm not this perfect and stable person that I was painting myself out to be. What I had to learn is that no one is perfect, and relationships evolve and transform over time. You go through the good times, the bad times, but you still show up as you. When I started showing up as my authentic self, I not only started to attract new friends, but I was also able to be a better friend to the friends that I already have by simply just being myself and allowing others to be there for me. Something that comes along with expressing your emotions and your authentic self is actually setting boundaries and learning to take up space in conversations. Being able to express your views and opinions while respecting others feels great. And now that you've started to express more and more of your emotions, you can start using them as fuel for your energy in these conversations. Someone who has inspired me to communicate more and state my opinions on things is 𝑺𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. She is a travel vlogger who travels around the world and has this ability to express herself, communicate her feelings, and also set boundaries with complete strangers. She is someone who really inspired me to learn more about communication. With Jasmine, I feel like she doesn't run or hide from any of the emotions she feels, and she uses them to create and manifest. She is able to show her genuine emotions to complete strangers, and it makes people trust in her. And you know me, I love a good self-help book, so a new book that I've been reading is Super Communicators, and that's what I learned that this super communicator does. They have their own energy and they're able to show emotions and communicate with ease. And something else that I really love about Jasmine is that she goes into situations with a winner's mindset. She believes that things will work out, and they usually do. She trusts her intuition and doesn't settle. And that's what creates success. Being able to work with whatever emotion you have in that moment and using it to create. Seeing her being so committed to making her videos, not giving up, and not taking no as an answer has really motivated me. So definitely check her channel out. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what else you want to see. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram, so definitely check that out because I'm pretty active on there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, that's it. We're done. Oh, and you're totally going to be able to see this big fucking bruise on my hand. Like, I really don't want to give up. Like, the fighter in me is just like, stick it out, you can do this. But it's a challenge. But it could be like that dopamine video. Like, I remember I recorded that video, I hated it, and then I edited it, and I actually did enjoy it. So, we got this. I believe in you.